Do you feel like you're becoming invisible after 50? Max felt the same way, but he discovered something that changed everything. You may not notice it in your daily life, but you suddenly find yourself wondering, does my presence still make a difference? Let me tell you something. Max, a man like you, went through exactly this. At 55, he looked in the mirror and didn't recognize himself. What happened to the confident, attractive man he used to be? He saw the respect and admiration of others begin to fade. He felt the weight of time and the fear of being forgotten. The truth is that, as the years go by, many men begin to lose themselves in this process. They believe that youth, energy, or even the power of attraction are things that simply go away with time. But the worst of all is that, as they let this happen, they end up moving away from who they really are, moving away from the real man they can still be. The fear of not being enough starts to eat away, and that's when emptiness takes over. Have you been feeling this way too? But I'm here to tell you, it's not too late. Max was able to turn things around and rediscover a power he didn't know he still had. He learned 5 essential secrets that have nothing to do with appearance or age. And when he discovered these secrets, his life changed completely. He regained the respect, trust, and even admiration of everyone around him. Now, I know you want this power too. You want to be the best version of yourself. You're not going to let the fear of getting older steal the best you still have, are you? Today, I'm going to show you what really makes a real man irresistible after 50. Stay with me, because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to awaken the incredible man inside you. Now, if you want to continue learning how to become the real man you've always dreamed of being, and not let these secrets slip away, subscribe to the channel. Here, I share tips that will help you become irresistible at any stage of your life. Don't miss out on the chance to be the best version of yourself. First, confidence without arrogance. Max is the kind of man who walks into a room silently, but somehow, everyone notices that he's arrived. He's not the tallest, nor the most talkative. He doesn't wear flashy clothes, nor does he carry an air of superiority. But he has something, a quiet magnetism, a kind of presence that speaks without saying a word. On a sunny Sunday, he went to his niece's birthday party. It was a simple family gathering, with barbecue, laughter, and that typical noise of children running around the yard. Max arrived alone, with a box of wine in his hand and a calm smile on his face. He greeted everyone with a firm handshake, a look in their eyes, and a nice to see you that rang true. On the other side of the yard, a younger man, maybe in his early 30s, was making loud jokes, trying to get laughs at any cost. He talked too much, gesturing as if each story he had was the most important in the world. He was the typical man who wants to prove something to others and maybe to himself. Max, on the other hand, sat in a quieter corner, near the drinks table, where he could watch the unhurried activity. He picked up a glass of wine, took a sip, and just was there, present, at peace. It was then that he noticed. A woman, maybe his age, was sitting on the other side of the yard. She was watching him, not with judgment, nor with forced curiosity. She was just noticing, with genuine interest, the kind of look that sees beyond appearances. At the end of the party, when most people were already leaving, she approached with a slight smile and said, "You have a calm demeanor. It seems like nothing gets to you." Max smiled back, with that serene glow in his eyes, and replied, "It's just that when we really know ourselves, we don't need to chase applause." That's the key. Max doesn't need to prove himself. He doesn't compete. He doesn't try to convince anyone of his worth, because he's already gone through the time of insecurity, comparison, and the need for approval. He carries something that many men only learn after years, peace with who they are. And that's magnetic. It's what makes people approach you without knowing exactly why. It's the silent security, the presence that welcomes you, that doesn't impose. Max became a reference without wanting to, because true confidence doesn't make noise. Have you been living your life trying to prove something, or have you found peace in being who you are? 2. He knows how to talk and listen. Max learned the hard way that listening is often more valuable than talking. It wasn't in a course or a self-help book. It was in a phone call and in silence. A few years ago, he was starting a relationship with Anna, an intelligent, sensitive woman with a lot of life experience. They had a beautiful connection. They talked for hours about everything, until one day she called. It was a Friday night. Max was at home, preparing something for dinner when the phone rang. On the other end of the line, Anna's voice was choked up. She said she needed to talk. Max, worried, put everything aside. But instead of listening, he started trying to solve the problem. With each sentence she said, he came up with a solution. With each pause, a piece of advice. He tried to motivate her, find logic, encourage her. Until suddenly silence. Anna didn't answer anymore. And without saying a word, she hung up. The next day, Max received only one message. Yesterday I didn't need advice. I just needed someone to listen to me. That was like a punch in the chest. He remained silent for long minutes, staring at those words on the screen. And right there, in that moment, something changed inside him. Max understood that listening is not just hearing sounds. It is embracing the other person's pain. It is giving space. It is saying, I am here, even without opening your mouth. Since that day, he made a pact with himself. When someone talks to him, he listens. Really. He puts his cell phone in his pocket, looks into their eyes, and waits for the other person to finish before thinking about responding. And do you know what happened? He started to hear more than words. He started to hear stories, truths, feelings, things that were hidden in the silence of someone who has never been truly heard. Many women have said this to him later. With you, it feels like I can breathe. Because Max doesn't listen to respond. He listens to understand. And that, nowadays, is extremely rare. It's gold. Have you really listened to the people around you? Or are you just waiting for your turn to speak? Third, elegance that never goes out of style. Max has never been one to show off. He doesn't wear famous brands, he doesn't have a luxury car, and he doesn't care about showing off his status. But those who spend time with him notice something different. Max has an elegance that comes from within, a type of presence that doesn't impose itself, it reveals itself naturally. I'll tell you a scene that shows this well. It was an autumn Sunday, the kind of day when the wind smells like childhood, and Max's sister's house was full. Children, grandchildren, nephews running around the living room. Max arrived punctually as always. He was wearing a light blue linen shirt, clean and well ironed. He was shaved, his hair was neat, and his perfume discreet but striking. He went straight to the kitchen to help with lunch. He grabbed the potatoes and started peeling them. Nothing special, but the way he moved, calm, careful, present, caught attention. It was then that his 7-year-old granddaughter ran up to him and said, "Grandpa, you smell just like Grandpa in the movies." He laughed immediately, but that phrase echoed in his head for days. And it was then that Max realized something he had already felt, but had never put into words. The way we present ourselves to the world says a lot about how much we respect ourselves. For him, taking care of himself has never been vanity. It has always been an act of dignity. It's like saying to yourself every day, I still care. I'm still here. He has a phrase he often repeats when people talk about this. A man who lets himself go loses himself, but a man who respects himself attracts respect. And it's not just an appearance. It's in his posture, in the way he treats others, in his patience with children, and in his firmness when speaking. Max enters a room and gives the feeling that everything is going to be okay. Not because of what he wears, but because of who he is. For him, elegance is not about showing off. It's about honoring yourself. And that never goes out of style. Have you presented yourself to the world as someone who still respects themselves? Or have you stopped taking care of yourself because you thought it no longer made a difference? Fourth, experience that attracts, not weighs down. Max went through pain and defeats, but he transformed them into wisdom. He doesn't complain about the past, he shares his lessons. At a meeting with friends, he said, "What I went through taught me to have more empathy. Today, before judging, I listen. Before responding, I think." He inspires because he carries scars with dignity. He is a shelter, not a storm. Question: have you used your story to victimize yourself or to inspire? Fifth, emotional protection. The woman Max loved lost her father. She cried in silence. Max didn't run away. He stayed. He prepared dinner, sent messages. "I'm here whenever you want to talk." He showed that love is being present, even in silence. And that made him unforgettable. Are you the one who disappears in pain, or the one who stays silent? You saw that it's not about being the most handsome, the richest, or the strongest. It's about understanding the value of who you are, and living that in your everyday life. An irresistible man is one who listens, takes care of himself, takes life easy, and stays when everyone else leaves. These things can't be bought, but they can be built, and you can start now. If at any point you thought, "This is me," or "This is where I want to go," then subscribe to the channel. Here we talk about starting over for real. And remember, it's never too late to be a man worth living. We're together. Until the next video.